What if the armor you inherit isn't just metal and light, but the heavy echo of every hero who wore it before you, the taste of blood and ash on your tongue, the burn of old scars under new skin, the distant roar of demons that never truly die, that universal ache of legacy, sacrifice, and choosing whether to carry the past or forge your own path explodes in Episode 12 of Yoroi Shinden's Samurai Troopers 2026, titled Epilogue, which dropped on March 24, 2026. Streaming exclusively on Crunchyroll, it closes the first cour right after the brutal clashes and hostage crises that tested the new generation against Ramaga's growing shadow. It doesn't hand you every secret, it just leaves you standing in the heat of the final clash, heart-pounding, asking, when the old legends step back into the fight and the young must decide what kind of hero they'll become, who truly wins, and at what cost. You can already feel the pull, can't you? That deep need to press play and stand with them as the armor calls. Coming off the high-stakes duels and Ramaga's schemes from the last episodes, where the new samurai troopers faced loss, possession threats, and the weight of their armors, this chapter brings everything to a boiling point. The heroes unite for an all-out battle to stop Ramaga's final ambition, with surprising allies from the past joining the fray in the human realm. What starts as a desperate stand turns into something far more personal and legendary. The transition feels like stepping from scattered skirmishes straight into the eye of the storm, setting the stage for even bigger threats ahead without spoiling what waits in the summer cour. You're not being handed the whole legend. You're being handed the fire that makes you desperate to see how the armor's light survives the dark. This episode masterfully wraps the first cour while advancing the larger story of the demon world's return and the clash between generations. It delivers a big, satisfying fight episode packed with payoffs to Ramaga's long-running possession plan and the mental links built earlier, balanced perfectly between explosive action and quiet, emotional beats. Pacing stays tight, quick setups lead into layered battles without dragging, giving just enough breathing room for the weight to land before the next surge. Fans have wondered about a few cloudy spots, like exactly how the possession mechanics work long-term or why certain alliances shift so suddenly. The anime clears these up through smart, in-the-moment reveals that feel earned rather than explained. Ramaga's scheme to exploit his own bloodline and the 10 warriors hits its emotional peak when those same allies turn on him, showing the cost of his hunger for power. No manga or light novel exists for this exact sequel. It's a fresh Sunrise original story continuing the classic universe, but it honors the spirit of the old series by tying back to themes of swapped knowledge and heroic resolve. The episode ends with clever cliffhangers, new team possibilities, a resurrection tease, and hints of the divine realm that leave you hungry for Cour 2 in July, exactly like those classic tales where one battle ends but the real war whispers on. Guy, voiced with raw fire by Iro Ishibashi, steals the emotional center. His hidden wounds, the fear of never measuring up, the pull of the armor's legacy, crack open in ways that feel deeply personal and transformative. You watch him grow from a young warrior carrying doubt to someone who chooses sacrifice with clear eyes, his choices consistent yet surprising in their quiet courage. Rio, one of the originals, dominates key moments with commanding presence, his return adding layers of mentorship and shared history that surprise and satisfy. The new troopers like Kaido and Musashi gain real depth through their bonds with the past, while the returning legends bring familiar strength without stealing the spotlight. Every decision and line feels earned, turning what could be simple fights into profound steps of growth and legacy. The episode digs deep into power, morality, sacrifice, survival, and the razor edge between hope and despair. What does it mean to inherit strength when it comes with the ghosts of old battles? The armor becomes more than gear. It mirrors every human struggle with legacy, where you must decide whether to repeat the past or rewrite it, much like historical warriors who pass their swords to the next generation amid endless wars. Guy's journey shows sacrifice isn't always grand or final. Sometimes it's the quiet choice to let others shine. Hope flickers in the return of old heroes and new alliances, but despair lurks in the cost of victory. These questions don't preach. They burn through every clash and quiet word, leaving you asking yourself, when the armor fits, do you wear it or does it wear you? We get richer glimpses into the demon world's lingering rules and the way old armors connect to the new ones. It enriches the universe beautifully, showing the human realm and demon threats as more intertwined than ever, without overloading new viewers. The return of classic elements feels lived in and complicated, like discovering hidden chapters in a family epic you thought you knew. The script is sharp and poetic when it counts. Lines hit like thunder, carrying real weight and foreshadowing without feeling forced. No cliches here. The words resonate long after, echoing famous last stands in history where one voice changes everything. Under director Yoichi Fujita and Studio Sunrise, with art direction by Osamu Taima and chief animation directors Junko Yamanaka and Tomoko Tanaka, plus main animator Hiroyuki Nishimura, the episode glows glows with purpose. Vibrant colors and crisp modern details make every armor transformation pop, while lighting and shadows turn battles into living art, warm golds for hope, deep reds for rage. Fluidity shines in the sword clashes and power-ups. Stillness in a single determined gaze speaks louder than any explosion. Beauty here means legacy, the kind that honors the past while feeling fresh and alive. The full animation team earns every bit of praise for making these fights feel epic yet intimate. Camera angles pull you right into the chaos. Low shots make the warriors tower like legends. Tight close-ups catch every tremor of resolve. Editing rhythm mirrors the heart of battle. Rapid cuts for fury, deliberate pauses for the emotional hits, amplifying tension like the best classic duels. Shuji Katayama's OST becomes a living force. Crescendos swell during the big clashes. Haunting motifs from earlier episodes return with new power, and silence between blows lets the weight sink deep. It haunts, elevates, and burns into memory like a battle cry you can't forget. Iro Ishibashi as Guy delivers a standout soul. His timbre mixes youthful fire with trembling resolve, embodying the weight of a new hero perfectly. The returning original voice actors, with some fresh takes like Hirofumi Nojima as Toma and Ryotaro Okayu as Seiji, bring instant gravitas and nostalgia, their intensity making every reunion feel like destiny colliding. You don't just hear them, you feel the generations meet. This episode left scars and sparks in equal measure. My heart raced through the fights, then ached with the quiet cost of victory. Moments of old and new standing together sparked pure wonder, while Guy's choices left a deep, respectful sting. The climax feels like a true collision of destinies, past and present crashing, a breaking point that shifts everything about what it means to be a trooper. You'll taste the ash of battle, hear the echo of clashing armor, and carry the universal question. When legends return and the young must rise, what part of yourself are you willing to sacrifice? Connect straight to every human struggle with duty, hope, and the fear of not being enough. The episode doesn't give easy closure. It gives you the burning need to keep watching, because the real storm is only beginning, and you'll feel it calling your name. Some might say the big fight mechanics lean a bit into classic superhero BS, or that the focus sometimes tips toward the originals. But that's no flaw, it's a deliberate stylistic choice that honors the legacy while giving the new generation their own emotional payoff. The series' earlier pacing frustrations get resolved here in a way that feels earned. Strengths in the epic scope and heartfelt resolutions far outweigh any tiny stumbles. Episode 12 of Yoroi Shinden Samurai Troopers 2026 succeeds brilliantly in its goals. It delivers a thrilling season finale full of action, legacy, and heart while teasing an even bigger story ahead. Its greatest strength is the emotional collision of old and new. Its only real weakness is that it ends too soon, leaving you starving for Core 2. This isn't just another anime episode, it's the spark that reignites a legend. So tell me, can you feel the weight of the armor on your shoulders and the fire of 2 generations yet? The demon world is still stirring. The crest is waiting to be passed. Press play on Crunchyroll, step into the final stand, and discover what kind of hero you become when the old light meets the new. Once you do, there's no stepping back. You'll be chained to the armor, heart, and soul, until the next dawn breaks.